Hi guys, welcome back to Priscilla's Craft Shop. In an effort to reduce the length of each video, I have pre-recorded how to make the base of each hat. You can find that playlist here. I have included the following 5 sizes: 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12, toddler, and child. That way, when you come on to the video for whatever character we're making, the base is already done. This is already done, and this is already done. I will let you know what colors you need for each hat so that all we are doing is the extras to make each particular hat a specific character. All right, I hope that you guys like this process a lot more than just doing the whole hat at in one sitting. I hope that you find it easy to follow along, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. All right, guys, so in today's video, we're going to be making a Spider-Man hat. I will put all of the items needed to make this in the description, but your base is going to be with Red Heart Super Saver Cherry Red. You can use whichever red you want to use in any worsted weight number 4, but this is the one that I like to use. I like to use Impeccable by Loops and Thread. You're going to need black, royal blue for your single crochet all around, and white. Again, you don't have to use these specific brands. You can use any worsted weight in this color that you prefer, but these are the colors. So white, black, royal blue, and cherry red. All right. Once again, your base is going to be done in red, your accents in blue. Now, I've had people ask me to make them a pink version. I've asked people to have me make them the red with the black. You can make it in any way you want. You can actually make the base black with the rim red if you wanted to do like the Miles Morales version. It's honestly up to whichever one you want to make, whichever one's your child's favorite. Okay, so you're going to need an H hook, scissors, and threading needle. All right, our base is done. Let's work on the lines to make the web. All right, so what we're going to do is, with our black yarn, I like to just take off a large part. I always take too much, honestly, but I'd rather have extra than not. I'm gonna put my back yarn away. With your kneading thread, your threading needle, sorry, you're gonna pull it in. Okay. So now you have this on your hook, on your needle. This is your hat, right? So this is a child size hat. As we go along, I'm going to let you know what you are going to do for other sizes. But this is a child size hat. And as always, you can find the written pattern for this on my website at priscillascraftshop.com. So what I like to do is I like kind of to see where my center is, kind of go down, and then it's kind of there. I'm going to fold this over to make sure. And when I fold it over, I look here and it's kind of like right in here. So I just shove it there. And that's the center, okay? We're going to pull it up through there. Pull up as much as you can, but not all of it, obviously. You want to leave some under here because you're going to come back and use this extra. Okay. So now, in every size that you are doing, unless you're doing really, really small, you're going to count 4. So first row, second row, third row, fourth row. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will be the same for child, for toddler, for extra large if you wanted to make it, a size bigger for adults. Anything smaller will probably be 3. But for this child size hat, you're going to go up 4 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to find just where you are, where it will be straight ahead. And then you're going to pull it through. Okay. When I was first making the hat, I tried to make it with puffer paint and it came out horrible. I've seen people do it and I'm impressed because I can't figure it out for the life of me. So I just use yarn. So now what I do is I just insert it right next to it. You don't want to put it in the same one because it'll just come off. So I just insert it in the next stitch over, and then I'm going to go straight across this line, a little behind. Okay, just pull it. So you see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm going to come straight down on my inside, and I'm going to come on that edge that is my ear flap, and I'm going to want to come out 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to bring this back over here to where my across stitch went. Okay, now we're going to work on this side. So I am going to insert my hook, not in my center. Let's take this off so you can see. Not in my center, not here, and not over here because we're already here. I'm going to go 1 stitch over from my center. And I'm going to repeat this on this side. So I'm going to go straight across, go right in there, a little bit further. Make sure that there's 4 rows. Then I'm going to come down here, make sure that I'm counting 3 stitches over. And I'm going to insert that right where I started on the stitch on this side of my center. Okay, now I'm going to reinsert my stitch into my center. So I'm going to just move this stuff out of the way so that I can find where my little center stitch was, my initial one. And I am going to go all the way up to, this is my middle row. I'm going to go 1 down from that. Try to keep it where the middle is. And I'm going to pull that down. Just see if that's the middle. Yes. Okay. So now this is where it kind of changes up with the sizes. So all of this is the same if you're making a large adult, if you're making a child, if you're making a toddler, this is all the same. So now what I like to do is I want to count how many stitches I have from here to here. Well, how many rows I have from here to here, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So I'm going to split that equally. If you cannot split that equally, then break it down in this manner. So by equally, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm going to make lines on every 4th row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, my line would be coming across here. Then my next line, 1, 2, 3, 4, will be coming across here. And then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows left before this line. Okay. If it is not equal, if you cannot break it down equally into 4, then I would suggest you doing the most, like if you could do 4, 4, and then 3, or 3, 3, 3, whichever it is that you have. But try to do the bigger ones, the bigger blocks here, and then up here can be kind of closer together to the center. So since I already know I'm going to do 4, 4, 4, I'm going to then insert my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to insert my hook kind of back here, put it through, come back, kind of just go to that side one over here. Come now to this side one and do the same thing for this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come back here. Okay. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 on this end. Kind of take this one that was on the side and kind of move it to the center. Kind of evens it out a little. And then again, come to the side. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come over here. And you are done with the lines, right? So you might have to just give your hat just a little stretch. Okay. So now we are going to take our bottom that we left, and we're going to make this look like a web now. Okay. What I like to do is with this bottom, since it's this, I like to go up 2 rows. So I don't come right in the center of it. I come right off the side of it. And then I come over here to this one and kind of just put it around this line. And then I come around, since it's on this side of the line, we're going to reinsert our hook on this side. So I just put it, just find a spot for it. And then come up here. Again, on the opposite side of the line. And then bring it on this side of the line. To then wrap around. So now this goes like this. So I'm going to come up here. And then again, insert it on this side. Sorry. Here. So I kind of like do it right where the line kind of meets, if possible. But always on the opposite side so that it looks like it's kind of on it. And then reinsert your hook on this end. All right, for the center, I like to go up. So instead of just going straight across, I like to go up 1 row. So instead of just doing this, I go up here. And this, if you happen to come out on the same, like if you happen to bring your needle up and it happens to be the same hole that your thread went in, it's okay. You can just redo it. It's not a big deal. It'll come loose. You'll see. All right. So now we have to make sure that since we went up, we have to make sure that this side now kind of matches this side, right? In a sense of where the lines go in. So this met right on this row. So we're going to keep it on that row. So now I'm going to come on this side of the line. And then I'm going to come over here. And then for this one, it meets here. So I'm going to do the same thing. Now, this portion of it does not have to look perfect. You're going to see it'll probably be a little off. It'll probably be a little crooked. The parts of it are not going to be all exact the same size, but that's okay, I promise, because the eyes are going to go right here. So no one's ever going to be able to tell that the lines are not the same exact size. This pattern is very forgiving like that. All right, now we have this over here. Pull that down and just try to insert it somewhere above it. And then this is going here. Sometimes because it's so long, it bunches up. So let me just take that apart. Oof, sorry. All right, so now we're going to just pull this back and insert our hook right there, insert our needle, and that'll keep this in place. Wherever you insert your needle, that's, you kind of tell this where to go. And then we're just going to come back around and put it on the opposite side, not in the center, just on the side of it. Okay, so like I said, this part is not going to be perfect, but I promise you that's okay. I promise you. Okay, so now we did this first part. We're going to come over here and we're going to insert our hook all the way over here on this side. Do you see? I'll show you the inside of it so you can see what I'm talking about. Just like that. And this is going to be our outer one. Come up here. And you can feel free to pause at any point in time if you want to go exactly step by step, kind of look to see where I'm putting each one in. Now for our center, remember, I like to go up one. So this is where we're at. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go back down because now this side, I'm going to make symmetrical with this side. This side is here, so I'm going to just keep that the same, bring that up. And it's easy if you are inserting it along the line to then just come back up in between the double crochets. There's your web. Okay, so now let me show you how I fasten off. First, I'm going to take this really long piece that I have here and I'm just going to cut it because I don't need all of that anymore. Then I'm going to turn the hat inside out. And if you can see, we have the one that we made our lines with and then the one that we made it look like a web with. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to just simply, in the little backs of my double crochets, come up. I'm not going in it so that it doesn't come, it doesn't show in the front. I'm just looping it on the side all the way to here. Just Tug it like that so it's not so tight so it doesn't mess up your hat. Then I'm going to cut this excess off and I'm going to tie this. And as always, I like to do 3 ties. So the first one I'm not going to do super tight because I don't want it to bunch up the hat. So I'm just going to lightly tie it. And then the second one, I could do tighter. And then the third one, all right, cut that. Turn your hat right side out. And move this to the center. There you go. So now let's work on our eyes. You're going to need your white yarn and your H hook. Going to do a magic circle. This is the same for the larger hats, for child hat, for toddler. It only gets smaller for anything 12 months and younger, okay? Chain 2. And actually, you can probably do this for 12 months as well. And you're going to work 6 double crochet in this magic circle. Six. All right. Now we're going to pull our magic circle, but we are not going to join. What we're going to now do is chain 2 and turn. We're going to work on this end. All right. So we're going to make 2 double crochets in each stitch for a total of 12 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look, I'm not even counting in doubles. I'm telling you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on now, get it together. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now remember, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So again, you're going to chain 2 and you're going to turn. You're going to work 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 in the next. So 2, 1, 2, 1 for a total of 18 double crochets. 1, 2. And just keep working that for a total of 18 double crochets. You're going to have to make 2 of these. All right, we're on our last one for a total of 18. Fasten off. Okay, so you have 2 of these made. Now you have to border them with black. The way we're going to do that is we're going to single crochet. Now, I like to start one on one end and then the other I like to start on the other end. And you'll see, you'll see later on why. So for this one, I'm going to just insert my hook here and work a standing single crochet. And we're just going to single crochet all around the eye. Okay, we've reached our corner. We're going to do this edge up here. I like to take my extra yarn and I like to hold it against there just so that I can single crochet with it along. And I just insert my hook in between the double crochets and then in the bases. That's it, nothing special. Then I pull that shut, I pull that tight, and then I move this out the way because I'm going to tie those up later on. And just insert that there. You see what I mean about the double crochet? This is a double crochet. I just kind of go through the top loops of it. And that's it. All right, now we join with a slip stitch. Leave a long tail for sewing because we have to sew this onto our hats. Okay. I take the back. I take this white here and I just tie it. Cut it off. Now I take my shorter starting yarn and I just make a little knot here. 1, 2, and I just trim that excess off. So it's this way. We have our first complete eye done. We're going to do the same exact thing with this one, except we're going to start on this end, okay? Standing single crochet, you're going to just insert it into that first double crochet there. And just single crochet all around. Remember holding your white yarn across because you want to bring it to this one so that you can just tie them up nice and neat. And pull that and then work the other side with no excess yarn tied with you. Again, a long tail for sewing. All right, let's get rid of our excess stuff. Okay, so if you did it the way I did it, then you will see that one eye has your string for sewing on this side and the other eye has it on this side. All right, so now let's bring our hats. Let's take the string, the hat with the string on this side over here. And let's position it. So this is the center of your hat, so to say. Figuratively, not the center, but it's the center. Okay, so our eye is going to end up around here because it's like the center of the web, right? So I'm going to just insert it here to just see where my placement is, and then I can move it around as I need. All right, so my placement is here. I kind of want the eye to have a slant because that's what Spiderman has. So I'm not going to go straight. I'm going to go upward, kind of towards this corner up here. All right. So I'm just going to sew that along. And you can follow kind of this line. You can kind of follow that along that slant. It'll just make things a little easier for you. You can also take a little pin and pin it up there if that's what you want. Following the line is just what works for me. kind of get right in that line here. You're going to kind of go up there. You're going to do another one on that same row for your second stitch, just to give it, make sure that it stays slanted in the direction. Straighten it out because it's kind of like bunched up. Okay. Now I like to kind of stretch my eye out because I want it to go on this third row. 1, 2, 3. I like to have it on that line, on this line. So I kind of just stretch it down a little so that when I get there, I can sew it onto that line. All right, so you have your first eye. Now, let's grab the next eye. It's going to be the same thing. So you got to kind of want to look to see your distance between the center of your web and your eye, just so that you can kind of do that over here so that it's similar. Right? Let's just figure that out first before we can slant it. Then our first eye comes slanted up to this row. So we're going to go along the row and we're going to make it so that our other eye slants to the same height. Okay? So then now you're just going to, again, along that line, just sew it on. And if you need to stretch it to get to that corner, you can. Remember, we're going to do 2 of the stitches up there. All right, now we want to stretch it down so that it reaches that same line, which is our third row line. Okay, now we're going to take the excess of our eyes, cut that off, and just tie them together. Give your hat a little stretch. And we have our eyes. Okay, now you're going to have 12 strings in red, 12 in white, 12 in blue. And then I like to have just extra ones of red to kind of use as the knot at the end of the braids. Okay, so we're going to take 6 strings from the red, and I'm going to use the red first because that is our base color. I always like to put the base color in the center. insert that in the middle. Doesn't have to be centered. You can just grab an end of it because you're going to pull it out. Okay, now you're going to want to make sure that the ends are even. Do that to the same, do that same thing to the opposite side. Right in the middle. Again, just make sure that they're even. Okay, so I'm gonna then take my white and take 6 and insert it on the side, that same line, just on the side of it. Do the same thing over here. Make sure that they're even. And then take 6 of my royal blue. Make sure that's 6. Yeah. This is my line. I'm going to go back here. And then I'm just going to make sure that that's even. And then come around and do the same thing on this side. Okay, so I want to show you guys how to make the braid. So I take each color and I separate it. Right? And you're going to just work a braid as if you would normal hair. So this is the trick I like to do. Just going to bring you with me. I like to put, I just want you to be able to see. All right, I like to put the hat in between my knees, separate my colors, hold it tight so that it has a little bit of tension, and I just braid. The secret is to braid with the same tension on both sides. So if you're doing it tight, do it tight on both sides. If you're doing it loose, then you're going to have to do it loose on both sides so that it looks the same. So it doesn't look like one braid is all nice and tight and the other one is all loose. Go all the way to the ends. Then we're going to grab our other side and kind of line it up and see where my tie is. So then I hold that together there like that and kind of see where my tie is. We kind of did it at the same point. So I'm just going to hold and wrap my little tie around. And then I'm sorry, I kind of lost where my other tie was. Okay. All right. So now this is the inside of it. I'm going to just tie it, make a little knot. Let me just double check that. Let's see now. All right, so now they're the same. So then I take my scissors. You can take a big pair of scissors if it's easier. I line them up and I just sort of just cut. Let's take that out the way. And there you go. There's your Spider-Man hat. I hope that you guys found this easy to follow along. I really, really, truly hope that you were able to make all of the lines to make the web looks, similar. And, I just hope that you guys found it easy. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for following along. Have a great day.